Hey, what's up, everybody? Metta World Peace here from the Test Your Greatness podcast, brought to you by thepandasfriend.com. It's a brand where we encourage people to test their greatness and never, ever give up. Also, go to wearworldpeace.com. It's our brand with me and my friend that focuses on just world peace things, everything world peace. So we'll just get into it. It's been a really interesting ride for me in my life, and then up until now. Now, as you get more into social politics, I look at wanting to see some change, a difference, and then also evolving. I also want to see us just add on to what is already laid as a foundational infrastructure that we have from, that the higher powers or whoever is in your mind, your higher power. Everybody has different religions and different faiths, and I really embrace them all. Muslims. There was a point in time where I didn't really understand Muslims. I was a young kid. I grew up Baptist. My grandma was a Jehovah's Witness. My brother's a Muslim. I went through the Catholic system from the age of 8 until college at St. John's University. I sent my children to the Jewish Community Center. So it's for me, I've been exposed to a lot. I've been exposed to the good, the bad, up, down, right, left. And I remember a long time ago when I think I was in NBA and I read in the newspaper in Queensbridge Projects, the biggest federal housing project in America. A lot of people in terms of one neighborhood, and 57 people was arrested in a raid. And I remember thinking, like, at any point in time, if I would have made a different decision, I could have got into the game. You got to always navigate, got to get around the game. And I always thought, why would you not protect us in the community? Because there are things coming into our communities that are creating bad habits and more. I also look at different foreign investments and I say to myself, why not help the people here so they can become more educated and then we could expand. But then as you get older, you start to do a little bit of history. You look at the oppression that happened, the suppression that happened, slavery, mindset, different things where manipulated mindsets as we came here from wherever we're from, because not a lot of, I'm talking about slave blood mom, slave blood dad. Not a lot of us know where we're from. Now, you could be half black, that the other half, where you're from. I'm talking about slave blood mom, slave blood dad, not knowing where you're from, right? So that comes with a certain pressure. That comes with a certain burden. It comes with a certain amount of stress, even if you are successful. I don't really consider myself like black excellence. Not to say it's a bad thing, because I always in my mind, it wasn't that I didn't agree with the movement or didn't agree with or wanting to make it as a black or as a brown skinned individual that people call black, but that's for another subject when people are ready for that conversation, because a lot of people's not ready for those conversations. But I was raised where I was just so curious. I mean, even if you look at being back home and all the things are going around, and having to focus and do my homework, getting a letter from Princeton, attempting to major in architecture. And I always bring this up because people say, why do you always bring it up that you attempted to major in architecture? Because I want people that grew up how I grew up to attempt to major in architecture and actually major in architecture and be a scientist. That's why I always say it, because people know my lifestyle. People know how, where I came from and the different struggles that I had. It could have went south. Not even on a professional level, but more just on the street level. And that's not easy. I seen a lot of my friends who was really good ballers that, couldn't quite make it to the other side. And it's sad. It's really sad. So from that perspective, now as I was talking about my 57 of my friends, by the way, I'm from the biggest, like I said, I'm from the biggest federal housing project in the country. Okay. And it's really hard to make it out. And when some people are trying to make it out, they don't understand the politics, whether it's entertainment, whether it's politics, whether it's sports, whether it's fashion. It's a lot of things that we don't understand as a collective group from where I'm from. And as I grew up with some of these individuals, I remember going to school with some of these individuals. I remember some of these individuals getting good grades on their tests. I remember some of these individuals' fathers leaving out of their lives. I remember some of these individuals where it turned and I seen a different person. And I also became a different person. Luckily, I loved the game of basketball so much and I loved to be active. By the time my energy wasn't just home, if that makes sense. My energy just wasn't on the block. My energy was going to the park, maybe playing flag football, maybe playing softball, maybe playing some basketball. Some people's energy is left in between the bricks. And when you look at the structure of the bricks, I'm from the projects. When it's cold, it's cold. When it's hot, it's hot. In your neighborhood, when it's cold in your house and the radiator is not working, it's cold. Right? The bricks absorb. When it's hot, it's hot. Got to open up the windows. Well, just imagine being blocked in and then the sun is there. You can see it's there because when you wake up at 5 a.m. or 6 a.m. or 7 or 8 a.m., the light comes through the window because the sun is just that powerful, but you're not getting actual sunlight. Some people don't get the actual sunlight unless you go to the park. But when you're growing up under a condition, you're not programmed to just, hey, I'm going to go chill out, go get some sun today. Back in the days, you go chill out, you get some sun on the grass, you might not wake up. You might have gotten popped. Right? And so when I look at, here and now, then, before, and as I'm going to go back and forth from different periods on how I'm thinking about it, I look at, at some point in time, no matter which way you go about it, there's no independency and freedom is few and far between. Now, yeah, we're getting better now. Just imagine having to fight to be free. See, we don't understand what our ancestors been through. I don't necessarily understand, but I feel it. And at some point, you want to continue to fight for them. Now, when I came out, initially when I first came into the public scene, and I was always representing my neighborhood, I got pushed back there. I got people that, no, he's a thug because he's representing his neighborhood or because how he acts. Because I'm not like a rapper I'm not like some rappers where you can act. You even see some artists going on television and actually having a really good acting career. That wasn't the case. I actually grew up in the trenches. You can hear it in the music. If you listen to the music from Queensbridge, just listen to every song, and I was somewhere around the neighborhood. So whether I learned, whatever the case may be, this is reality. So here I am being shamed for having a certain swag or a certain jargon. Some people would call it the Denny language, or whatever you want to call it. Here I am being criticized because I love that. I love my friends. When you grow up, don't you love your friends that you grew up with? Well, me, I didn't grow up with friends in the suburbs. I grew up with friends in the trenches. And I love them. Some of them are not here. Some of them are in jail. Some of them are coming home. And now as I evolve and get older, I'm here to speak about it more mature. Initially, when I first got into the professional scene, I always questioned everybody. Elites, I questioned structures, I questioned economics, but I didn't quite understand how to communicate that. So it would come across in different ways. But I've always loved, but the love I was always able to communicate. Now, you get people saying, okay, this person's that way, he's a thug, write him off. Then you get older, you get those same people, oh wow, you are on my side. Right? Then you have an opinion. So here we are in America with opinion. We have finally we can talk. Right? Now prior, when we couldn't talk, the history of the two-party system, which is now a multi-party system, it was the same parties, keep in mind. So I want people to understand that this is not necessarily a thing where I'm not going to justify what I'm going to say. I don't like to personally piss people off. I just say what I say. Then also on the flip side, I'm not necessarily trying to make, I'm not trying to like go out my way to beg to be someone's friend or beg for an alliance, if that makes sense. I'm very neutral, if that makes sense. Now, we came up through both parties, okay? It wasn't just Republicans that enslaved us. It wasn't just Democrats that enslaved us. And it took a lot. Now you fast forward to a couple years, you got on one hand people calling us thug, people from where we're from. I'm talking about slave blood mom, slave blood dad. No disrespect to anybody that's mixed. I love you. My company's super diverse, but I'm talking about a specific topic. The burden and the stress that comes with being a slave blood, coming from a slave blood mom and a slave blood dad. So now here we are being able to vote. And if you vote Democrat or if you vote Republican, you get pushback from both sides. And that is something that is keeping us stuck in time while others are scaling their enterprises. Right? So for me, it's like if every 4 years we're on repeat, and if we already set back 500 years, so then if you do the math, there's truly no progress, no matter which way you go about it. Because we all know at some point in time, there's going to be a Democratic president. At some point in time, there's going to be a Republican president. What's the story here? This story is just stuck like in between first chapter and the climax. And it's on repeat. And that's an issue, if that makes sense. So, where I sit, why am I so open with my political views? I'm a social politician. Now, I truly don't believe I get the credit from some people have perspective or, different thoughts or views about me, which is okay. But, some of the greatest things I've done in my career, getting the J. Walter Citizenship Award. J. Walter Kennedy, actually. What a coincidence, because I'm friends with RFK. It was like, how did he get that award? How did this, pass or thug get this award? Because I work hard at it. That's how I always wanted that award. I always wanted all the awards. I didn't get MVP. I didn't get a couple other ones, but I got quite a few. And I worked hard to get the J. Walter Kennedy Citizenship Award by giving back to the community and bringing awareness to all people, not just people in the hood. And as y'all know, I'm from the streets, and I always represent the streets, but I have a soft spot for people. And I'm so happy that the writers saw that. Then I got an award from Biden through associates. I love that award that I got. Now, doesn't mean that I agree with all the views and the politics that comes with anyone. That's anyone, Republican, Democrat, or Independent. which I'm an independent. But anytime a president reaches out, or you get an award, or you're within arm's length of something, remember being a kid and you look at the flag and you were so proud of the flag. And you say, "Oh wow, Mr. President! Oh, this is the president!" And you're a kid. You hear all the drama, but you're not quite conceptualizing it. What you see as a child is, "Oh wow, the president," and you're happy. Like maybe some things is going wrong in your life, but you're happy for the country. You're happy for life, even if you're poor. And I remember those feelings. As you get older, you start to learn, and then you start to question everything. And that's where you want to get the country headed into. You want to get the country back to when a kid right now is going to see somebody's going to be president. They're not going to understand the politics. They're going to just be happy that they're here every day, even if they're struggling. What we got to do is make sure that they understand, yes, you have to be educated, you have to, all this other stuff, but we got to work in reverse also. We just have to educate the youth while they're trying to get educated. Let's not educate them as we continue to scale. Right? So when you look at, I grew up in a Democratic state. I've been involved with Republican states. I have Democratic friends that are Democrat because maybe they understand it. I have Democratic friends that are Democrat by default. I have Republican friends that are Republicans probably by default, and some that are just turned Republicans. And as we talk and as I'm open, I'm really excited. What really got me being friends with Republicans and Democrats is being open. If I can't talk to you openly, then we have nothing. You should be able to talk to me openly. I'll talk to you openly. No, I may not agree. I don't agree with the views. I don't agree with some views on the Democratic side. I don't agree with some views on the Republican side. I'm probably agree with more views on the Democratic side just because of what we've been through, but I also question a lot on that side. From an independent perspective, I get a chance to bring my own perspective freely without stress. On the Republican side, I don't agree with how we were treated back way when. I don't agree with the lack of education. And there's other things I don't agree with. Right? So here, for me, I like to say, okay, it's not even, yes, it's about a vote, but it's more about how can I give back? And I can give back by understanding the situation, picking out what I think is wrong, not saying I'm right because I think this is wrong or I think that's wrong. It's not saying that I'm right, but I'm giving effort on addressing issues and trying to embed myself in the DNA of forward movement, forward thinking. Some people get offended or turned away by the word progressive. I think progressive is great. You're evolving. You're making progress, right? Not in a way where you're changing the fundamentals of who we are, but in a way where you're just making progress, innovation, some technology, and different things like that. It's all about bringing people together. It's all about bringing ideas together. Now here we are on both sides. I personally have not been happy with, just a lot of different things from finance to economics to education. So in this country, you're able to do something about that. And this is the thing. I think, yes, go out there and go get your votes. Both sides, go get your votes. But you can't fault someone for having their own opinion. Right? It's a group of us that have our own opinion. And we're paying attention to both sides. We actually want to see both sides finally work together. Like, it's just so much bickering, and it's high-level bickering. It's adult bickering, which always leads into a fight. Or maybe not. But adult bickering is happening way too much. if you truly want to work together, you'll come up with a solution. There's a solution for everything. And if there's a group of people that should be taken care of, then that means that's the solution. You're in the middle of the equation, and now all you got to do is solve it. See, somebody's going to be on the right side. Somebody's movement is going to continue to move, good or bad. Somebody's going to be on the right side. Somebody's going to be on the right side of history. And I hope it's you, honestly. But I think it's very important being in the trenches where I'm from. You get a chance to really see. And what I see is, if you don't act a certain way, you don't get access. If you don't abide by someone's rules from their perspective, and even though your perspective is different, your personality is different, if you don't abide by their rules, then you don't get access, you out. There's also situations where people are taking advantage of that. You have to do this to get to the next level. You have to. So the gatekeeping, we really need to look at that. That's one of the biggest things that's keeping people back. And that's one of the biggest reasons why you see people jumping ship. There's too many people that brings no value to one person and another that's in between. So you'll never be able to, if you really truly are ready for whatever moment you're ready for, if you always got to go through layers and layers and layers, which going through layers is okay, it's good, but it's different levels of going through layers to push forward what you're trying to push forward. Everybody's personality is different. You know, some people don't want to, some people just, don't necessarily want to be around others. Or some people don't want to go to a party. Why do we have to go to a party? Just to meet someone for a meeting. Whatever happened to coffee? Some people don't want to be in compromising situations. Some people do. So it's so many layers to one's decision on why they are swaying a way that they want to sway. Now continuing to move forward, I could be an independent and be proud of my third-party award that I got from Biden. I could also question some of the politics. I could also be proud of seeing a female potentially have an opportunity to be a president. I can be very proud of that. I could also still be an independent. I could say here that seeing a female have the opportunity to be president is incredible. And I can still add value to the movement. I could also sit here as when President Trump won a couple years ago and look at the politics and his bullet points and pick out that one I don't like, that one's not bad, that one I like. And I could do that with Democrats. I can say, that bullet point's good, that one, why did you not address that? And that's how I look at politics. I look at the bullet points. I say, okay, I like that, I like that, I like that, I like that, I like that. Oh, bring it together. Okay, I think this is a good solution. I think these people can work together. Now, on the things that are extreme on one side or the other, that's where you need maybe some type of arbitration where something's going to happen. Not like we're waiting 20 years. for something positive to happen for people that just want to enjoy the fruits of the earth in this beautiful land. Some people have not seen the stars. That's 70 miles from them, meaning you could be in a city. Okay, 75 miles out, you could be in nature, pitch black nature, and just really enjoy the universe. Some people have never experienced that. And that might sound, oh, what is he talking about? But that's true. Some people have never experienced that. Some people live in Los Angeles in different communities and do not get to the beach. We're detaching humans from nature. Just why are we here? We're here to evolve, but we're also here to enjoy. Right? We're here to evolve, but we're also here to enjoy. So as an independent, you might say, yeah, I'm an independent. You might call me a Republican. You might call me a Democrat. What I'm saying today, you might have a view on, oh, Metta's not truly independent. He's this, but that don't matter to me. I think what really matters is social politics, moving forward. Sometimes the decision you make is not going to be best for you. It's going to be best for somebody else. Sometimes the decision you make is not going to be best for your group. It's going to be best for somebody else. Sometimes the decision that the group makes is not going to be best for your group. It's going to be best for somebody else. And we got to get to that point. Right? We have to get to that point. So I say that I really want to wish everyone good luck on whoever they vote for. I'm going to wish the country good luck. We're going to be here to support. We're going to be here to question. We'll be here to give ideas. We'll be here to give suggestions. As much as we can, we're going to try to be a value add to the future. The same way, we're going to try to keep bringing people together and not divide. And I also am I'm also excited that RFK actually reached out to me. I've been in social politics for a long time, maybe longer than some candidates in terms of bringing real issues to the table. People got a chance to see the real Metta, and people also got a chance to see the real issues. When I elaborated on mental health in 2010, look at where it has gone, the stories, the corporations, the implementation of mental health awareness and mental health solutions. That's a big thing to me. That's the type of stuff I like. That's the type of things where I think is super cool. Now, yeah, I grew up in an environment where we set the trends, meaning hip-hop, people, they love it, and it moves people. I'm from that. But at the same time, I'm also my own person. Now, when you're talking about social politics and trying to just make change, I see a lot of people doing great things, so kudos and congrats. And I'm also trying to continue. So when I get opportunities to meet, high-level people, presidents, and so on, I always jump on the opportunity. I would love to speak to Democrat president. I would love to speak to independent presidential candidates. I would love to speak to Republican presidential candidates. Why wouldn't I? To give my opinion. Now, some people don't really take meetings with me, not high-level people, but some people don't because I have my own opinion. And some people don't want to hear my own opinion. They want me to jump on board with them. And sorry, I just don't. And I might have to miss out on opportunities. I have missed out on opportunities. I've lost opportunities and even associations because I just don't agree with you. Sorry. I don't agree with you. Yeah, I'm an independent, but it's incredible that there is a potentially a female president. I think it's cool. And I also like my Republican friends. And I also might not agree with them at times. And I have to deal with that. Now, to RFK, we built a really great friendship, and I want to continue to be supportive of for what I think is right for people. Doesn't mean I agree or I'm just going to support someone just because it's trendy and it's cool. It's not what I'm about. I'm about giving suggestions and perspectives. Hey, what do you think about this? Hey, what do you think about that? If you do that, then this is going to happen. And that's what I love. That's what I love about my journey. This is what I love about even the people, because without the people, I don't have the energy and the creativity to change my name to World Peace, to try to push a message to support Palestinians and to support the state of Israel and still support African Americans here in America that is still fighting for reparations, and to still just talk to people on different levels from the top to the bottom. It's a tough spot to be in, but it's a fun spot when you're able to communicate with people and listen to people. And then I have my own experience. Just me individually is its own, call it case study or its own viewpoint that people might not agree with also. Because I have my own view, but I also like to understand and learn. I'm also super optimistic about the country and super excited. Sometimes I get excited. I do get sometimes upset about things from the perspective of maybe I didn't accomplish something I wanted to accomplish. Maybe I had issues with somebody a long time ago or whatever the case may be. I'm only human. But I no matter what, I'm super excited about the future and what it looks like. I'm super excited about that. And I remember a point in time where I was only doing philanthropy, no business. Just if you needed something for your 501c3, I was there. That became overwhelming. So you got to get into business at some point, right? You got to start learning and getting into business. But as I end this here, I still am optimistic about the future. I feel like people are going to get opportunities to build. We must build, to code, to grow, to use your hands and create stuff, to be married for years, 30 plus years, 40 plus years, have children and all this stuff. Yeah, it's the kind of the fairy tale, but it's something that when you put all these incredible components together, that's the result. And of course, there'll be ups and downs because that's just life. The only thing perfect is probably the planet and its surroundings, but for the most part, I'm really excited about the future. I have my own opinion. This is not a thing where I'm getting people to follow me. I love when people have their own opinions, and I very rarely chat. You don't see me much. Maybe by default you will, but this is my personal opinion. It has nothing to do with me trying to get people to agree. But I am going to say that thinking freely is incredible. You got to think out the box. Sometimes we get so caught up and we can't think straight, can't make the right decision, especially in neighborhoods like how we grow up. It's people that grew up in bad conditions and still in bad condition. Mentally, not even talking about physically being in a bad place, but mentally being in a bad place. No hope. And I think there are things that we can do to bring more happiness. Little things count. Like not being selfish to start. Metta World Peace. I really hope that you enjoyed this podcast, the Test Your Greatness podcast, where we want to encourage people to test their greatness and never give up. Make sure you go to thepandasfriend.com, go cop some gear, as that's our only sponsor and keeps us going as a podcast. Make sure you go to wearworldpeace.com. Make sure you go to artistmanagementgroup.com. Follow us everywhere, and I am going to holler back. Peace out.